where are the Bugsy Malone cast now? Bugsy Malone was the musical we all wanted to be in at school. It was made for kids, starred kids, had an awesome soundtrack and made us all wish we could have pie fights while pedaling 1930s cars about the place. It's been a whopping 42 years since Alan Parker's Bugsy Malone first hit the screens, and it continues to have a life in theaters around the world. But what happened to its young cast since then? 1. Scott Baio, Bugsy. Scott truly was the coolest kid alive in 1976. Soon after becoming many young girls' first crush, he went on to take a major role as Chachi in Happy Days and its spin-off Joni Loves Chachi. A year later, he was the lead in Charles in Charge until 1990. In 1993, he took on the role as Dr. Jack Stewart in Dick Van Dyke's Diagnosis Murder, but left after 2 seasons. Since then, he appeared in a variety of films and TV series, though none of them are quite the pedigree of his early career. These have included roles in Veronica's Closet, Super Bubbies, Baby Geniuses 2, and most recently the sitcom See Dad Run. However, he did play the rather inept lawyer Blah 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 in Arrested Development, returning for its 2013 series. He has also dipped into reality TV for VH1. Scott Baio is 45. And single, and Scott Baio is 46. And pregnant. He has also become known for his conservative views and his support of Donald Trump. 2. Jodie Foster, Tallulah, easily the biggest star to have come from Bugsy Malone. Jodie had already been in the business since she was 3 years old. The same year as Bugsy, Jodie was nominated for an Oscar for her performance as a teenage prostitute in Martin Scorsese's Taxi Driver. Over the next few years, she featured in The Little Girl Who Lives Down the Lane, Freaky Friday, Candle Shoe and Foxes. After a few years in the acting wilderness, she returned to huge acclaim in 1988's The Accused, winning an Oscar. She won her second 3 years later for The Silence of the Lambs. She has continued to appear in many films in the last couple of decades, including the likes of Maverick, Contact, Anna and the King, Panic Room, Flight Plan, and Inside Man. She has directed The Beaver, Money Monster and episodes of Orange is the New Black and House of Cards. One peculiar incident surrounding Jodie was the 1981 assassination attempt of U.S. President Ronald Reagan. The attacker, John Hinckley Jr., had become obsessed with Jodie, and decided to shoot Reagan in an attempt to impress her. She later said, "I never wanted to be the actress who was remembered for that event. Because it didn't have anything to do with me. I was kind of a hapless bystander. But what a scarring, strange moment in history for me, to be 17 years old, 18 years old, and to be caught up in a drama like that." 3. Florrie Duggar, Blousey. Florrie only landed the female lead after the original actress had a growth spurt. Now known by her married name Florence Garland, she didn't want a movie career and decided to leave acting behind. "I enjoyed the acting, and the camaraderie and the joy of memorizing roles. But I didn't want to do it professionally," she told The Independent in 2015. When she was 18, she enlisted and became a medical administrator, and served in Air Force bases in the UK, South Korea and the United States. She left the military in 2001, and has since worked for an ophthalmology practice. 4. John Cassidy, Fat Sam. John was chosen for the role as Speakeasy boss Fat Sam after director Alan Parker went to a local school and asked for the naughtiest kid in class. John later starred in the 1977 sitcom Fish, but eventually stopped acting and moved into the construction business. From 2012 to 2014, John served as the director of global construction for Citigroup. However, in 2015, he pleaded guilty to a bribery scheme, and was sentenced to up to 6 years in prison plus a $500,000 fine. He is married with 3 children. 5. Martin Lev, Dandy Dan. Martin's sinister, chilling portrayal of Fat Sam's nemesis Dandy Dan was one of the most underrated crime performances of all time, but he soon left acting and began working as a designer. Enemy sufferer, he was a founder and director of the charity Action for Me, a self-help group for others with a condition. Sadly, he took his own life on March 11, 1992 in London at the age of 32. 6. Dexter Fletcher, Babyface. Dexter had a small but memorable role as the smallest of all the Down and Outs. Since then, he has become known for his work as both an actor and director. After roles in the likes of The Long Good Friday and Press Gang, he rose to prominence in the 1990s thanks to his appearance in Guy Ritchie's Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels. He later had roles in shows including Hotel Babylon and Band of Brothers, and had a short stint hosting Channel 4's Games Master. In recent years he has turned to directing, and was behind the camera for Sunshine on Leith.